Alright, here we are again. It's July 15th, closer to the end of the day, or night I should say, finally coming to it. Had shoulder surgery today, so interesting. Had time to trade a bit for a couple hours and then go get prepped for that, so getting this out a little late, but AMD. Again, as I stated in my last video, had a nice little drop into the zone and then climbed, but good news for the chips in the middle of the night. Had a climb and then have my zones marked out. This was something I was potentially going to take short-ish, I guess I should say. So last time I said that I'm trying to be careful not to play an RSI divergence. So if you have a decrease in the RSI but an increase in the price, like a new high, I said I was going to be careful not to do it if it happens outside of a zone. So glad that I didn't take that. Obviously in the open we had this rocket of a candle and RSI. But then it started to consolidate. I almost thought about even taking it long as it started to kind of pause and consolidate here. Possibly do a flag. I was thinking, oh man, I missed it. But then it's not really my setup. That break and retest was another opportunity where I was thinking, man, this could be a really good long here. But again, I mean, it's below VWAP. I like that it held this zone and pre-market high, but I just had some other plays in mind, so I didn't take this one. Good thing too, because it just, look at that, just sideways all day. That would have killed premium. Probably would have had to scalp this little return to the zone. ARM was a little bit of a killer for me today. I think that the idea lately is that it had this bounce, and so as it's starting to reclaim, we could start to see some upside to it. I had this one on watch. I just didn't play it right. Actually, twice I messed this one up. Saw this take off within the first 2 or 3 minutes. I'd have to go back and check for sure on the 1 minute, but I thought, okay, if this breaks and then retests this zone / pre-market high, then I would potentially take a long. But it didn't, and it dropped. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe should I either wait for a retest to the downside because it's below this 20 EMA. I didn't really consider playing it off this bounce for some reason. And then I got into a call, I think, in here in this candle because it started to bounce back above VWAP. It looked like it was just because it was a doji candle. It looked like it was just kind of toying around with indecision. And then I thought maybe it would break out. The mistake I made, anticipated the play again. I got in within the zone and really just kind of in the middle to lower half of the zone. It looked like it was reclaiming VWAP. It didn't actually hold. Next candle showed some promise. I mean, I think it, let me think here. I think at one point, maybe I took this call up here and I got stopped out here. I think as it started to kind of hold here, there was something, maybe I got in again here. I forget what it was because it bounced. Sure enough, stopped out again. I was done with ARM for the day. Wasn't going to toy with it anymore. But I did like this triple bottom, quadruple bottom maybe. And, you know, maybe at one point in the day, maybe I would have taken a call here or a call here, but I was just kind of done with ARM. It wasn't playing quite as cleanly as I'd like. Okay, hood. Well, I think with hood, because the alert triggered the day before up in here, it triggered it, but it rejected. I almost took that put yesterday off that quick rejection. I put the alert back in because I wanted to see if it would break that and hold above, and then obviously the alert above that would be the all-time high, become the all-time high. So into today, just kind of kept an eye on it. I liked this because saw this dip and reclaim back over VWAP, back over the zone, back over yesterday's low, over pre-market low, over pre-market high, and what do we have here? We have up bar, down bar, up bar, 3-bar play. I think I took it right in here, saw that incline, was thinking, okay, this is going to be a good hold and climb. Looks like it had some strength here with the volume confirmation. However, the zone must have some sellers up in here, because obviously it dropped, but then later on the day it tried to reclaim again, and then bloop, something must have come out there. I ended up getting out once I started to see this downside. I was thinking, yeah, this isn't good, because I wanted to see it with strength going up through that zone, but you just see rejection. So I got out. Well, later in the day, waiting in the surgery room, I was thinking, oh my goodness, I wish I would have just thought of this earlier and took this support here. But I saw that it was coming up into this zone again, and I was thinking, again, just so silly of me, anticipating this breakout. I mean, it reclaimed this move. I think I was a little butthurt that I got stuck out here, because I feel like Hood is kind of coiling to break out. So I took one here, and actually, silly me, didn't have a stop loss in or anything, just in surgery, can't even look. I woke up, checked my phone, it had this massive drop, and I thought, well, one contract, I'm just taking a little play here. I mean, really thinking about just swinging it, just to see what happens. Not great risk management on that, for either, to be honest with you. Something I got to work on. Got to figure out my break and retest, or balance play. Just need to get better at that. Next, NVIDIA. I did not trade NVIDIA today. Looked like it was doing a failed breakdown, as parts of the market did today, but it was just a fake out. Went back down, chopped sideways. Zones were near perfect, just didn't take them. Palantir, oh man, I'm starting to love Palantir. This area right here, these two lines, might not show up, yeah, going all the way back. These are previous all-time highs. So we saw this break of these previous all-time highs. Broke above it, retested, and then into the open, bottom wick, off this zone, off this previous all-time high zone, if you will. I thought, man, this looks pretty good. So I took longs here, off this bounce, climbed, reclaimed VWAP, went into the zone. I think that, yes, I think when it broke out here is when I took profit on that, because it was up into the zone, cleared the previous day's high, got to pre-market high, took profits here for about 50%, and then thought, man, I got out too early, and it looked like it was a break and a retest here. Don't love the wick. Looked like it started to reclaim, but it was just a fake out, which I hate when that happens. And then drops back down, breakdown, retest, down to the zone. So I guess we'll just have to see what Palantir does tomorrow. QQQ. I took a quick scalp off the open. I think this was relatively similar to the previous day, where you kind of had this little rejection here and then a drop in the open. Oh, that's right. So I was kind of eyeing I was actually eyeing SPY. SPY had this potential RSI divergence where it was going to go up into this zone, would have created a new high, potentially a lower RSI. I think from here is what I was thinking. We can just get rid of this here. So I was thinking it probably would have had this increase and this decrease in the RSI. So I was kind of hoping to play a put into the zone. Didn't quite get there, but as I looked over to the Qs, I was thinking, okay, shoot, this one is up into the zone. It just rejected pre-market high. I've seen this at times. It's a play I love when it happens, if it actually happens. That pre-market high rejection and then just fades all day. Those are such a beautiful play to get into when it happens, but I think that's what I was hoping for today. So I took a put here, saw this drop below VWAP, saw this weakness in here, this candle right here as it was down into here. I took profit, kind of reclaimed there, rejected VWAP. I think at some point I was thinking about maybe getting in again on this retest. Good thing I didn't. It just chopped kind of for the rest of the day there. Maybe could have gotten this, like if I would have held it for greater gains, probably would have got stopped out with that amount of time of decay. Maybe this wouldn't have been much more of a profit, to be honest with you. But SPY, I did just, the price action was deeper. It actually had a downward motion versus the Qs on sideways motion. So I did actually take just a small, no, that's what it was. It started to show support here. And so I actually took a little SPY lotto just for fun, just to be in the game. Nothing big at all, to see if it would reclaim. Clearly, never did. So, there you are.